Hello, name's Adam, welcome to the channel and welcome to today's video. And today, we're back making weird houses in The Sims 4. Yay! Alright, so for today's weird house, we're going to be making a stethoscope shaped house. And this house has a bit of a backstory. And by backstory I mean, I got sick. I know, plot twist, crazy, woo. Alright, so a bit of a story time. Ooh, you get a story time as well, lucky you. Or maybe not, I don't know, man. So not long after I posted the last Sims video, I felt quite ill. I woke up at 4 in the morning, Sunday morning, with some really bad chills. And the next day, I woke up feeling like absolute total crap. Literally, I felt like crap. I felt like I got hit by a truck, beat up by a wrestler, and gnawed on by a very ravenous hamster. That was a really mean hamster. And for the rest of the week, I was stuck in bed. I had fever on and off, I had bad headaches, I had chills, I was hot, I was nauseous, I could barely eat. I think I got like a flu, like a late season flu or something. Needless to say, my Easter, basically I slept Easter and the whole week after that. And for some reason, I must have heard this song like maybe once before I got sick. I don't know. I don't really listen to like the latest music per se. But for some reason, I had Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License playing endlessly in my head on loop the whole time. I distinctly remember waking up at 12 o'clock in the morning, just laying there with a pounding headache, my body sore, and that song just playing in my head over and over. It's a good song, right? Okay, don't get me wrong, it's a good song. I just don't want to hear it on loop when I'm feeling like absolute total garbage. Total crap garbage, okay? Needless to say, it was a nightmare. But in that moment of feeling sick, I thought, man, I should probably go to the doctor. I feel like absolute crap. Spoilers, I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. But when I thought I should go to the doctor, I thought a doctor's office. And then I thought of the stethoscope and how it's always cold when they put it on your chest. And then inspiration hit me. I should make a stethoscope-shaped house in The Sims. And so here we are today, folks. Because that's how my brain works, apparently. Sure, I might be having a pounding headache and a fever and nausea. But dang it, inspiration will strike when it strikes. And I'll take it. And so that's the backstory to this build. Yeah. Alright, so just like in the last video, we're going to make this a speed build with facecam footage of me making the structure for accountability purposes, as proof that I indeed made this build all on my own and no one can say otherwise, because for some reason I feel the need to make sure everyone knows that I did that, probably for validation purposes. But we won't talk about that here. No, I'll save that for therapy. Anyway, and here is Building Adam, who is going to be making the structure. Say hello, Adam. And he is a more capable builder than he appears, who is more than able to take on this challenge. Alright, and the speed build will begin right about now. Alright, so to start out with this build, we're going to make the round listening part, or the chess piece, as it is technically called. And as you can see, we start with a quarter circle. Ooh. But wait, we're not just going to stop at one. Oh no, because we're going to take that quarter circle and we're going to duplicate it. And again. Ah. Okay, calm down. Sorry about that, folks. He just gets a bit too excited because he really likes making these weird builds in The Sims. And now let's watch as I attempt and struggle severely to delete some stupid walls. And thus concludes this segment. Thank you for watching, and I hope that it was not as frustrating for you to watch as it was for me to delete those stupid walls. Alright, and now we are going to take this weird rounded square and we're going to squish it and squash it and smush it until we have A circle. Ooh. Before we can continue with this build, we first need to make sure that it is centered on its plot. However, apparently this is easier said than done, because at one point the house decided to defy gravity. How did this come about? I have no freaking idea, but it soon became a whole thing in of itself, but I eventually got it back on the ground. And with that, we do one more check to make sure it is centered on the plot, and I don't know, I guess it's good. Alright, now that we have that sorted out, it is now time to create the tube part of the stethoscope, which as you can see we are doing here. Ah yes, nicely done, Adam. And here we are measuring, because again, we do have some standards on this channel. Most of the time. And we're just gonna extend this piece a little bit here, just for proportion's sake, and oh, there I go coughing. Yeah, I was still sick when I was making this video. And this is me explaining that we're going to make the ear parts, or the ear tubes as they are technically called, of the stethoscope. I thought it would be a good idea to map out the shape of the ear tubes with dirt before building the walls, as you could see here. However, this was to a varying degree of success. Though I guess it did work because it did help map out the general shape of the structure and helped guide me as I was building the wall, so yeah, I guess it worked. However, this was not as easy as I thought it would be. This was when I entered extreme focus mode. Honestly, getting these walls to be symmetrical was a nightmare, and I thought at one point I was going to lose my sanity trying to get them right. I did. No, but seriously, I really did struggle at this part of the build, making the ear tubes. What really got to me was just making sure that they were both symmetrical and also the same size, because as you'll see in a bit, one ear tube, the little earbud thing that goes inside the ear, one will come out bigger than the other. And not quite sure how that happened, to tell you the truth, but yeah, it happened, and I struggled just to correct it, as you can currently see going on now. This build is like, it seems simple enough in of itself, but in reality, just like going about it, it was like, I'm going to make you work for this, boy, and you're going to struggle, and you're going to struggle hard. And I was like, sorry about that. I don't know why I did that. No, but seriously though, yeah, this part really this part really bothers me like watching it back, because it's just kind of annoying to watch. It's just a lot of back and forth trying to just get it right. Eventually I do get it right. Eventually. Anyway, I think right about... Whoa, what the heck happened there? That was weird. Anyway, right about here is where I started getting it right. And finally, after all that, I was done? Honestly, I wasn't too happy with the earpieces, the parts that go inside your ear to here. That's kind of self-explanatory, I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I wasn't too happy with the earpieces being together like that. So I regrettably decided to try and see if I could get them to have a little bit of space between them. And when I say regrettably, I mean regrettably. It was the whole issue with one being too big all over again, and then just trying to get them all proportionally. And then I realized I had to adjust the other side because one side was not symmetrical to the other. I think one side was like out more than the other or something. I don't know, but oh my goodness, it became a whole thing in of itself. But we struggle through. We strive and we struggle through. And we, of course, we cry into our pillow later on when the recording's over. You know, we can't show that on camera. Anyway. Eventually, after much working and reworking, we got the walls to become symmetrical, and everything was going well. That was until I hit a snag. For some reason, I could not get a ceiling on these stupid walls. However, after much trial and error, I came up with a solution. Now to hope it would work. And it did work. And needless to say, I was quite happy about it. And now with the main structure completed, it was time to work on the roofing. Yeah, I guess that'll do. For a moment, I thought maybe the tube that connects to the chest piece needed a bit of adjusting, but then I remember the mess I went through with the ear tubes, and then I was like, nah, just leave it. And now that that disaster was averted, it is now time to pick out the perfect paint color for our stethoscope shaped house. First I was going to start out with a black color because the tube and the ear tubes have like this black color on the base of them. I'm assuming it's like rubber or something. And then as it goes up towards the little earbud things that go inside the ears, it has like a silvery color. And so for that portion, I wanted to pick out the right color to give them like a silvery metallic like texture. So for that, I had to pick out the perfect paint color. And for that, I decided to go with rustic sub 4 slabs. However, upon putting on, I deemed it unacceptable. And instead, I went with Granite Falls wood. And it was the correct choice. For the walls, we're gonna go with this black color, which ironically had the name Plain but Pretty. Ironically, because that is often how I describe myself when I look in the mirror every day. And let me tell you something. Painting this house was the easiest part of the build. Like seriously, compared to the rest of the build, this was nothing. Especially those ear tube parts. Oh, that was so annoying. But anyway, we're almost near the finish line, and let's just finish painting and get through this. And we'll get through this together. And after some finishing touches, we are done. And boy, this one was a doozy. But here it is, and it is glorious. Alright, so after the build was done, I did actually go back in and make some adjustments because I wasn't quite happy with the way it came out, so I did make some adjustments. That took forever as well. That might have been a bit of a mistake, but in the end, I guess it came out somewhat better. You be the judge. Regardless, here's the end result of our Sims 4 stethoscope shaped house build. It may look simple, But man, it was a damn hard endeavor. So here's the end result of the build, as you can see here. The adjustments, I don't know if it made it better or worse. I feel like it looks more like a stethoscope, but it looks more like a cartoony interpretation of a stethoscope. I'm starting to think maybe the original looked more like a stethoscope. I wanted to extend this part. I have like the term somewhere. I can't remember that. The tube, whatever. I wanted to extend this because they're usually like a little long because they have to put on your chest and yeah. But I feel like this kind of got squished a bit. I don't know. I guess it came out alright in the end. I think maybe if the plot was a lot bigger, maybe we could have got better, more realistic results. I don't know, but I guess all in all, it's not a bad build. I suppose you can tell what it is, right? I can tell what it is. Can you tell what it is? Please tell me you can tell what it is. This build was a lot. Here's the cop out though. Okay, it may look like a stethoscope, but is it livable? No, it is not. First of all, this round part, the chest piece, is that what it was called? I don't know. The round part, the listening part, cannot connect to the rest of the house. There's just no way to do it. I try extending the walls so that like, because before the wall would end here, and then this little piece here did not exist. Here, actually, I could just delete it and show you. See, it's like not super connected. So I extended the walls thinking maybe if I extend it, I can knock down this wall. No, you cannot. You can't do that because it's a circle. You would take the whole thing out. So can't do that. So then I thought, okay, you could add doorways. What are they called? Lintel frame. I don't know what they call it won't. It just won't. It says it cannot interact with the walls. I'm guessing because it's a round wall. So then I thought, okay, round walls. We have doors for that. It still won't. So regardless, you cannot connect it. But you can make a doorway to the outside. So I guess you could do this and that. Solution. That's a solution, I guess. Regardless, that's only the first hurdle. Because after that, you basically just have a giant hallway. The house is basically just hallways. That's all it really is. And yeah, there's a wall here, but like you can knock it down. Like you're able to knock these down so you could access this part of the house and this part and yada yada. But it's just hallways. Like maybe you could stick a I don't know why I'm trying this. Why are we doing this? You could stick a couch here. Yeah. I'm assuming this would be the main living area because that's, well, the only area with room. And if you really get into the tiny living stuff, you could probably make it work. Oh gosh, the fridge won't even fit. Oh, that won't even go flush against the wall. Oh wait, yeah, well, okay. But yeah, it's not. I'm sure someone can make this livable. I'm just not gonna bother. But like I said, I guess this could be like the kitchen, or you could probably actually. This could be a kitchen, just a long one. Like fridge, sink, stove, counter space, table, and then in here could be like a living space. You could put like a couch, whatever. This could be a bathroom. Oh my god. Oh my god. I would hate to be like, I have to go to the bathroom. And then this could be like a bedroom, I guess. I would hate to be the person that has to go pee in the middle of the night. Yeah. I guess it could be a house. It's just a really bad house. Well, I wouldn't want to live in it, I guess you could say. But yeah, I guess you could put a bedroom in here. You could put your bed, your nightstand, your mom. You could put a toilet, a shower, a sink. Yeah, you could put like a sink here because, oh wait, there's a toilet there. The sink can go outside. It's fine, it's fine. Or you could just extend. Regardless, someone can make this into a house. I just know it. I believe in that person. But I'm not that person because I can't be bothered. Alright, so here we are, our stethoscope-shaped house. And it is a thing of glory and beauty and majesty and all those other adjectives that are positive. Alright, well, I'm going to call the video here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the house. Leave me a comment of other weird objects we can make houses out of. Maybe I'll try them. We'll see. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like. Leave me a comment what you think of the house. And I'll hopefully see you next time. Alright, see you guys later. Goodbye. And I hope you like the stethoscope house. And if you don't, just don't tell me. Okay, bye.